Oh, sports. I don't even know our own theme song. Welcome back. We are live. What's going on? What's going on, folks? I'm your host, Johnny Barks, and to my left is
Mr. Bryan. That's me, Bryan. We have a lot to go into today.
Yeah, we're gonna just jump right into it. Let's just jump right into it because we missed last week. How was your Christmas, Bryan?
It was great. I'm wearing one of my Christmas presents right now, and I wanted to show it off. It's a Battlehawks, an XFL jersey, official XFL logo there. It's the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson jersey. So if you were to,
you didn't get a real player. It's kind of
they don't have real.
Are they redrafting because of the? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
they don't have like a players association in the XFL, so they don't sell player merch. So it's all like very basic.
That's weird.
Just team stuff, which is kind of lame. But at the same time, it's like I'm okay with getting a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson jersey. I think that's pretty cool.
Right. No, I think it's cool. I mean, I'm just happy for you that you're able to move on already from the Bears season. You've already accepted that they're not going to pay.
Hey. That's not what I'm communicating. That's not what I'm communicating.
I've been seeing some crazy stuff on Twitter about Bears fans, man. Like they're like, we'd be 11-5 if we won these games that we didn't blow, and then we win our next two. I'm like, you're really like, so technically our season wasn't a failure, guys. We got our expectations. That's what we hoped for, right? So I'm like, okay, guys.
Well, either way,
there's plenty of delusional Packers fans too. Don't get me wrong.
What's
going on, GB Packers 12? How we doing?
Yes, go St. Louis.
That's a lovely Denver meetup picture right there. I love it. So yeah, we thought we'd do a little something different today. We're gonna do somewhat of a tier list. So we're gonna use this tier list to kind of talk about all the quarterbacks going on, the happenings, the latest news, and just give our little 2 cents here. So.
And really what this stemmed out of is a lot of heated conversations between Johnny and myself and some of our friends randomly here and there about Jordan Love's future and a little bit about Justin Fields, but I feel like it always goes. It's mainly been about Jordan Love.
It was about his future. Well, I guess maybe about for you. I think it's pretty obvious by now. Yeah, he is the future of the Packers right now. At least he's our quarterback. Yeah. Still, yeah, Packers got to win 2 more games, and then Seahawks or Rams just need to drop 1, and we're in the playoffs.
Yeah. So how do you want to do this?
We're going to do Jordan Love versus Justin Fields next week. So this is a little bit of a preview to that. Kind of talk about everyone else's quarterback before we get to the big debate about who's better. Because I saw a poll that there was more retweets than likes. So that's obviously the best voting system. So Justin Fields is better. That's what I saw. So
which is unfair. I don't
not the battle for me. I mean, it was a significant ratio. Surprise. Usually they're not that bad.
Right.
It just must have been passed around Bears Twitter. That's all.
Right.
But yeah, let's rank these quarterbacks. How do y'all feel tonight? How was your guys' Christmas out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 100%, dude.
And so I have this idea where we can go sort of back and forth, like you pick one and you place them where you think they should be.
Ooh, I like that idea.
And then I give commentary and then we flip it. So
I got to put Joe Flacco at elite. Is this big enough for you guys? Can you do that? Should I? Yeah, that's fine.
Joe Flacco at elite.
That's cool. Actually, yeah, I can't even talk today. It got rid of the ad when I zoomed it in.
Oh, nice.
All right, who do you pick? Who are you picking?
You're putting Joe Flacco in elite, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, so we're doing this based off of this.
We're also talking about Cam. Did you listen to the Cam's full video? I just watched this full video earlier from last week, and I think he made another one today or something.
Yeah, like I watched a lot of Cam's podcasts and some of those random, what's it called? Like TikToks. What do they call it? This dude?
Basically, if you didn't see, he basically said there's only like 4 game changer quarterbacks in the NFL, which are, I think he said, I have to look at the list. He said Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. He said one more, and Joe Burrow. Those are the 4 he listed, I believe.
Yeah.
And he said everyone else basically a game manager. And he said Dak, that includes Dak, especially Brock Purdy. Who else did he list? Tua. Some kind of a hot take. Like the only issue I have with it is like he was totally baiting to get like that viral moment. I think. And it was successful for him, so I can't talk bad against him. But like And he was like, kept saying like, oh, it's not derogatory. It's not derogatory. But like, I think he made, like, he knew what he was doing when he was like talking about that, like trying to get the hot take saying Dak is assistant quarterback. That's why he threw Dak in there at the end. Like he knew what you were doing. That's why he clipped it the way he did out of context too for your shorts. And I don't hate, like, get all the views. And I'm sure he's got hella subscribers out of it. But I think he makes a good point for it. And I'd say maybe like Justin Herbert would be like a game changer too.
Mm-hmm. Dead, like your Seattle Sea Dragons fandom. I'm a big fan of the Sea Dragons as well. I'm from St. Louis, and so obviously I'm a tried and true Battlehawks fan, lifelong Battlehawks fan since 2020. I'm a season ticket holder as well. I've had season tickets every single season, the 2020, 2022, and then in this coming year. So
yeah,
big fan of XFL stuff, and it's nice to have football in St. Louis.
We'll definitely catch a game this year. I'm a little bit closer to St. Louis now, so.
So you picked, and we'll talk about the Deebo and Cam drama, by the way.
Which stems from Brock Purdy. So that'd be an interesting one to
let's just do. So are we just going down the line?
Whatever you want, whoever you want.
I kind of like the idea of just going down the line, so it's not like we're cherry picking.
Okay. Josh Dobbs.
I'll do Josh Dobbs. He's bottom of the list. I'd probably say F tier.
F tier?
Yeah.
Are we giving them tiers? I'm just gonna go.
I'm just, yeah, we could do it as we're like bad. Yeah, he would be bad. And a backup. Yeah, I think a backup is a good role for him.
CJ Stroud, I'll do.
And CJ Stroud's hard because he's been injured recently, but when he was healthy, he was good, and he kind of went downhill a little bit, but I like that pick, the future. What's the next one? I can't see the one after. I have to scroll down a little bit. Josh Allen. He's not a backup. He's not elite. But I would say.
You'd say he's a game changer?
I'd say he changes games through his interceptions and his feet.
Yeah, that's what's Cam's argument basically. It's like they're the truck that's carrying the trailer rather than the trailer. Yeah. And I think a lot of that, if you want to get into the nuance of that, I think a lot of it is the talent. The talent around you. I know Allen has Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs has been very average the past like 6 weeks though. Exactly. No, I like the way they do it. That's kind of, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's kind of inspired by GPS. Yeah. But this is what we're doing. All right, guys. Thank you, Ty. But yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, they throw a lot of interceptions, but he definitely makes, like, he has the most touchdowns in the league right now. So you can't say he's not a game changer. Mm-hmm. Like, I agree that he's at least one of the four.
So you have Matt Stafford here. By the way, we're going to come back to GB Packers comments because I have a lot of comments on everything you've said. So
I have to do a new tier. How do I do a new tier? I thought I could do it. Whatever. We'll do this as, because he's like very, very good, and he's not in the future.
Yeah, I think
very, very good.
I would just say very good. I wouldn't say very, very good.
No, you're right. I agree. That's me just trying to be stupid.
And then next up is Will Levis.
All right. Will Levis. Yeah. Is he the future, or do you think?
I think I would consider him the future. I don't want to make a new category for him. But especially if you watch his first game with the Titans, and as he's progressed, he's sort of started to sort of ease into being a solid starting quarterback.
We'll see about Russ when we get there, Ty.
Well, yeah, I don't even want to talk about Russ yet. I'm too scared.
Yeah, he really is Favre, like, to a T. I think that is, if Favre was like a tougher, like had like 30 more pounds on him, I think Favre would play that way too.
Yeah.
Because he was like only 220 or something. He was like an average size quarterback. He would have tucked it and run and put his head down. He would have.
100%.
All right. Yeah, I got Brock Purdy. Did you have anything else to say about Will Levis? I'm sorry.
No, we don't have to talk a bunch about.
No, his first game, that was like the best Thursday night football game of the year. Actually, that was good. Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy. I'm gonna put him at very good.
Yeah.
I actually know. I mean, he already is the future. I think that only applies for rookies, or first-year starters. Yeah, I put him at very good. That's the thing. I almost agree with Cam's take. Like, well, obviously, like that's the thing. He's He's being a little smug, like I told you so. But like anyone who watches football could tell you that Brock Purdy is a game manager. The reason he was in the MVP conversation is because he was managing those games perfectly except those 3-game stretches.
Right.
No one else was doing better. Like Dak was the MVP. Like it's been a new MVP every week, and then they have a bad game.
Right.
So now I wonder if Ravens, it's like the NFL's curse bill. I wonder if the Ravens are going to have a.
And what I like the comparison of Matt Stafford and Brock Purdy in that when you surround those guys with talent, they can win games.
Absolutely.
But by themselves, they're not really game winners.
Yeah, they're not very different quarterbacks in that sense, but I think that Stafford makes out receivers, and we haven't seen that in Brock yet because it's kind of been given the talent for him. Derek Carr. That's an interesting one. Is that a D tier or is that a mid? What are you gonna?
We can make a tier called mid, and we could throw these little these quarterbacks that are in purgatory, like I would say, into there. It's hard.
Dude, I think they cut him after this year already. Again, I'd have to look at his contract. I think he only signed a 2-year deal.
I think he would go be a starter on a team that's down and out. Needs a starter.
I don't know because I feel like unless the Saints win the division, which it doesn't look likely now. I think they play the Buccaneers, don't they? So they could, if they pull it off against the Buccaneers, maybe. This might actually be most important career.
Well, I'm considering him
going forward now.
I'm comparing him a recent comparison would probably be a Jimmy Garoppolo last year, the year before, or. I'm trying to think. I mean, Baker Mayfield going into this year is what I kind of feel, but I'm not saying he's like Baker, but I think going into this year,
similar. No, absolutely. There'll still be someone desperate enough to. I don't know. He might have to compete for a starter.
I like the generic bald man falling off, making a category called falling off.
That's not a bad one. Would you rename that over mid then?
Yeah, let's do falling off.
Fall off.
The
fall off for J. Cole. Shout out J. Cole. I think it's I'm trying to do 3 things at once. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting because I think there's a lot of rookie quarterbacks, and if all of them, even if a Shadir Sanders is screw it, everyone's transferring out of Colorado that's committing. We have no freshmen coming in. Maybe he just says screw it and declares for the job. We'll have to see. It's a little early for that, but
right.
He might have Brock, that's gosh. Brock Young, Bryce Young, he's already fallen off, right? I think he already peaked in college, right? No, I think that that'll be really. That's who I'm really interested to see this weekend as well, to see the post Joe Barry effect, because we saw it with Tommy DeVito, we saw it with who was the other guy that did crappy after doing good after, but Baker did great last week.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy for Baker. I really hope he works out in Tampa because he seems like a really good fit there. But yeah, we'll see with Bryce. I'm just going to leave him there, honestly. It's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, you can't call him the future. He hasn't shown.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, by default he's the future, but because you have no other option, and you're not going to invest in someone else already.
Yeah,
because he hasn't been like Jamarcus Russell level bad.
Right.
Can't talk today, man.
But he's falling off is what he's not back up to out of this league. Kenny Pickett. So this is hard too. This is hard too because he hasn't really improved, but he hasn't really gotten worse, if that makes sense. This is where I would put him in mid if we had a mid category. Yeah, let's just put him there and just call that mid. Because it's so hard because I could see the Steelers going into this next year's draft and drafting a quarterback in their first round. But I could also see, especially if Mike Tomlin returns, that they just stick with Kenny Pickett, a healthy Kenny Pickett.
I mean, I think you've seen the Steelers' offense is so confusing. I don't know what to make of it, especially in the post-Matt Canada era.
Right.
Yeah. We'll see how because he might not even return if they lose. He might not be able to return. I think he's not eligible to return until next week. and then you have to see, I guess.
Yeah, and I think generic ball man, I want to be that way. I want to be like he's a bust. I want to lean that way, but a lot of people lean on the Matt Canada reasoning behind him being poor at the position, on top of them not being an offensive minded team really since like Antonio Brown was on the team.
He's much better than Mitch Trubisky. That's
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, if you compare him to Mitch,
a couple weeks ago, I said that Mitch deserved the chance. No, he doesn't. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean it.
Oh, bus comment for Bryce.
Yeah, he was calling him.
I lean that way too. It's hard to say though with a rookie.
Yeah, I hope it's either way. It's the last Thursday Night Football game of the year, so we'll talk about it later at the end of the show, probably if we have time.
So you're up with your pick here.
All right, I got Mac Jones. He's back up. I mean, technically, yeah, he's not even a starter anymore. It's Zappy.
Yeah,
Zappy. You should add Zappy in there. But either way, Zappy would be a backup. I think Zappy will be a serviceable backup throughout his career.
Right.
He'll be like the upper mid-tier back. He'll get good backup QB money. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick. All right, who you got? You got.
Do you have the Jets?
GTR?
Yeah, no, I'm looking. I said the Jets. Do you have the draft? Or I'm gonna pull up the draft order.
I can get it.
I'm just curious right now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'd do anything for the Bears not to have number one overall pick again. My goodness.
Anyways, so DTR. Sorry, I got off track. I was looking at something else.
I can't pull it up at the same time.
That's all right. Dorian Thompson. I would say backup.
I agree.
I mean,
we don't know yet, but yeah, we can just
so far
for him.
We don't know would be a
question mark.
We haven't seen enough.
DeVito, I'd put the same for DeVito. I mean, I don't even know if he's a backup. Let's be honest. I think he could be one of those guys that like in 5 years you're like, holy hell! You remember that too? Like he was like that social media, like the real social media quarterback here. If we're talking about that.
Yeah, I mean that's the issue with some of these teams. I'll go back to. I feel like I'm adding commentary every chance I can. And I don't mean to, but the issue with a lot of these quarterbacks is they're on teams that they really can't support a developing quarterback. So DTR is a perfect example of somebody who they aren't really supporting him because they're not giving him opportunity.
Yeah, I mean he got hurt and then they just put in Flacco, and Flacco's kind of they used him in the red zone. Did you see that? I don't know if that's just because the kicker on fourth down or what. But, I'm interested to see what they can do. Like they're using his running ability. Obviously, you're not going to run a QB option with Flacco,
right? And then DeVito's the same way. Oh, geez, what's happening? DeVito's the same way where they don't have weapons for him to even do stuff as a quarterback. So it's hard to, when Wan'Dale Robinson and Saquon are your
like he didn't play terrible. I think Deebo was just trying to mix up the offense and maybe I don't know.
So next up is Geno.
He didn't even throw any interceptions in that game he played before he got benched. DeVito did. But Geno,
I would put Geno as mid.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks draft someone, honestly.
Yeah.
Like we've been expecting them to for a while, but maybe the right person falls.
I think the description of mid, we're just putting them all in that category because they could be mid, they could be not a starter for long. But we'll just say that's just all clumped into one.
Yeah.
Geno's mid.
We'll say he's more mid than not starter for long.
Yeah.
He's more on the left. Jared Goff. I'm going to put Jared Goff at very good. I think he's a good quarterback. I think that was the problem with McVay. He wanted like a guy who would be more explosive than Stafford, even though maybe Stafford isn't a game changer. Maybe he just didn't like Goff. Who knows? Maybe he did something to piss him off. Who knows? He just couldn't get over that one pass. He was too late. If he just was like a half second sooner to Brandon Cooks, it would have been an easy touchdown.
Yeah.
But Devin McCourty made a great play on that play. What was it, Super Bowl? I don't know, 56. That's this year. I'm trying to think. Minus play. In 2019, that was the year. Rams, Patriots. Zach Wilson. What are you doing with Zach Wilson?
mean, I think he's also comfortable with being a backup, and he is a backup.
Do you think the Jets
in
keep
his
him
true
next year?
form.
I mean, I guess they wouldn't have a
either
reason.
way, he would be a backup if
he's still getting backup quarterback money. It's like on his last year of his rookie deal. They're not going to accept his fifth player option, obviously.
Right. And I could see him going to another team just as a backup if they didn't want to, retain him. But
a backup with some kind of upside, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah, Lamar's obviously a game changer.
Right.
One of the very definitions of a game changer with his legs, and he can also throw the ball. He is a very underrated quarterback at passing the ball. I think he gets disrespected, but he made some crazy throws that MVP year, and he makes a really good throw every game, seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love the way that he responded to Florio, because who freaking likes Mike Florio, right?
Yeah, his
words.
He was just like, I don't know why they were talking about it like that. Like I was
no, you get to do Jordan Love. Oh my god, you're gonna piss me off. I guarantee it.
I'll say the future. I'll consider him the future because this is sort of like his rookie year. This kind of feels like it.
I legit thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna put him in mid. I was about to.
No. He's good.
No, I agree.
The future could mean a lot of different things, though. The future could mean mid.
Well, it just means that it's yeah.
Yeah.
Like even Bryce Young's playing super well, but I wouldn't give him a game changer.
Right.
I mean, these are just funner categories in A plus B or whatever, but
right.
Tua, I'd say Tua is like Stafford, honestly.
I said very good, yeah.
Yeah. I'll put him right by Stafford because he's really good too. And like he played well. Is like before he had Tyreek, they won like 7 games in a row. The final one. He was playing really well.
Artemis has a funny comment or an interesting comment about how he became a Packers fan or a Broncos fan.
Oh, Broncos fan because in 1976 my family stayed in the Holiday Inn, Red Line, in a room that looked like
it looked into the open.
You know, that's funny.
That's pretty cool.
Crazy. You get to watch the practice all day. That's fun. I guess it was early in the morning. She just woke up and head over. I guess back then they probably had like 3-day practices before the NFLPA banned them. Cut down from 3-day to 2-day to 1 day.
What's your what's the next one?
Thanks for sharing, man. I always think that's super cool. That's what I'm so excited to do more stuff about. It's like just learn about everyone's stories.
Mm-hmm. Let's say let's put Aiden in falling off. In my opinion,
was he ever good enough? I don't know. I guess
I think there was a lot of hype for him, and he did have. Well, this is the thing. Like, I don't know if the Raiders will stick with him as their starting quarterback next year.
Next year, you think so?
I don't know if they will.
Okay, I thought you said you thought.
No, I don't think they will. But I'm hoping that the Bears get Max Crosby in a trade from the Raiders so they can get Caleb Williams, and that's what I hope. But
it might be Drake May, not even Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that's where I'll put him. And there's some of these guys we don't need to spend a ton of time on.
Sam Howell, yeah, he's definitely. I mean, he looked really good at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like he just needed to gel a little more with the offense, but man, they really did fall. Like they've been awful. Like he's been especially off the last 2 games. Like, geez, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was on track to have like a record year.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was throwing for so many yards, and that's what made him look so good too.
Yeah, the first 3-4 games he looked crazy.
Kind of fun to watch. But man, just like can't stop turning over the ball, and he was getting sacked all year, so maybe it was the Derek Carr effect. But like, not the Derek Carr, his brother was the first one. David Carr. All right, Desmond Ridder.
What do I feel about Desmond Ridder? Well, he's hard because
he's technically a backup right now. He lost his start.
It's hard because he's let's put him on backup. I don't want to put him on backup. Oh God, you have Justin Fields?
This is perfect, actually. It just worked out.
It did work out.
I feel like
now
I
this
still
is
want to put him.
hard. This is hard.
I
For you.
know because it's like we're still. There are people still saying that they're questioning, like if he's the guy. Like these 2 games are still going to tell if they should draft the quarterback at number 1. So I mean, it's just because you're not in that position along a lot. I mean, I would almost put him in very good, but like if he just would have been this from the start, I know and some of it's question mark because we don't know how much of it's Getsy, and because it just seems like that's either the scapegoat or that is the real issue, or a big part of the issue in the scapegoat. But
we'll talk about this next week. But I don't even know if I would put him in the future yet. Like, I feel like each week he goes from very good to the future to mid to the fall off. Like, he's all over the place. I do like the future because there's a sense of like
I still think like that's the thing. Like you're right. He has like Cole Kmet and DJ Moore, and that's about it. Like it seemed like last year him and Mooney had a really good connection, but I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah, I think he had a good solid running game to back him up.
Do we have enough tiers? I hope we do.
We don't know how to add tiers is what we're having the issue. We would be adding tiers, but we don't know how.
I would add more. I think I can't. I think I had to before I started. So I can.
Add a row. Oh, there you go.
There's a new one. Boom. We figured it out. Look at us.
We should just keep that there just to add a space between, just to show how much
Flacco how elite Flacco is. Yeah. He is that elite. Did you see last game? Like Amari Cooper has never. He plays for Joe Flacco and he gets that many yards. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. I'd say he's a game changer. Absolutely. I'm sorry. I just doubled it.
No, I'm gonna say very good. I mean, this is my pick, Johnny. I'm gonna say very good.
Yeah. Easton Stick hasn't looked bad in place of him. He did that like that first game, but.
But he's sort of in that realm of people don't talk about him as an MVP, but he's also a very good quarterback. So, but and then in the same category too, and Brock Purdy are in there, so that kind of knows what I'm saying. But go ahead, Gardner Minshew.
I mean, I think he's more mid than a backup, honestly. He's like a below average starter, I'd say.
He did look really bad last week, but Minshew in the NFL, the current NFL, not, healthy Burrows, Mahomes with all these weapons, NFL.
Right.
This is the current NFL. He's definitely a mid or low tier starting quarterback. Now we have Russell Wilson.
I mean, he's been falling. Last year was the fall off, and he's definitely not a starter. Like, I think he's gonna have to compete next year for a starting job. I mean, I think someone will be. He'll have more than a few suitors.
Maybe
New York.
I think next year will be the fall off. I think this year is mid. Next year's the fall off for him. That's what I am predicting. But
I think that like everyone has them like to Atlanta, but I've been thinking I think New York would be interesting. I know that they have Daniel Jones still, but maybe he acts as like a backup / praise for Daniel Jones. I don't know. Kneels with him before the game. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest, man. It's I haven't legit it made me really sad yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know it's not like he didn't deserve it, but like to bench him the last 2 games, and I get the reasoning behind it. It's just shady. And then like the whole story of him being asked all the way in October to give up his injury clause. Yeah, it's crappy. It's just crappy all around. Yeah. And the fact that he's like going out there and playing his heart out is pretty. I mean, obviously you're going to do that. You're a competitor. That's what your job is. But knowing like they could bench you at any time, they decide to, honestly, for no freaking reason. Other than Peyton just doesn't like you and never really did. And I get that he maybe not running the offense and it's frustrating quarterback to watch, but like I don't know, man. It's a complicated issue, and I really feel bad for us because as much as you can for an athlete, you know what I mean? Like, part of that's just father time. It's going to happen regardless. Not everyone can go out on top, but
let's make a new category, by the way. I just have this idea.
For Russ?
No. I mean, we could make a category for Russ and just have him be sad boy category. I think a very, very good category should be introduced because we're having some of these very, very good quarterbacks come up in this list. And then Russ should have his own category because he's kind of just sitting there right now. But yeah, I think we should have a very, very good category.
Yeah, I got it.
Which we did have one. We just deleted a very. But
yeah, that's how I originally had it. Would you put Herbert in very, very good?
No, but I know you want to.
Would you put Tua? Would you put any of these guys in that?
I don't know if I would. You know, it's hard to. If Pizzle was in here, he would say Tua should definitely be very, very good. But it's kind of funny because Brock Purdy and Tua are in the MVP conversation, but I wouldn't consider them. You know, Mahomes. I would put Mahomes. I'd put Burrows in that. And this is not. This is why I kind of struggled with this rating system because we're talking about Mahomes in a room with a good amount of talent at wide receiver, which they don't have. We're talking about Joe Burrow healthy and actually playing. And not what he did this year when he was healthy, which is kind of funny, but like, it's just weird. Like I would still put Mahomes and Burrow in that very, very good category. And if you want to, you can move around the very goods if you want.
No, I mean it's yours. Like,
sorry, I'm skipping around. Yeah, if you want to put,
I don't want to put Tua. I think Tua and Herbert are like neck and neck. And if you're not going to put Tua or put Herbert up there, I'm going to leave Tua there.
Okay.
What would you go for Dak though? Is he in very, very good?
I would say very good.
Really?
I
think he's been really very, very good this year.
Okay, put him in very, very good. It actually is your turn.
This is how we're doing it.
It's your turn.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
I'm putting him in very, very good then. No, he's been legit this year. I mean, I know that Brandon Cooks is better than it was a very underrated signing, I think. Or did they trade like a 5th round pick for him? And CeeDee Lamb is like ridiculous, but still, Jesus. Dak is doing great in what he's been given. And McCarthy, I think overcoming McCarthy's game management sometimes can be an issue. I mean, McCarthy's still great at what he does. My cat is like crying about something. But yeah, Dak is really, really good, I think. Very, very good, I should say. Hey, buddy.
So Jalen Hurts would probably fit in the very good category. I don't think he was very good. I think he was very, very good, like up until halfway through this season. And then he has been falling off. I mean, I would maybe consider a fall off for him, but he's not the same. But for different reasons, he's at a different tier, but he is falling off.
You put him to fall off? It's your choice.
Well, let's put him in the fall off, and it's not. Again, I have to clarify. It's not that he's at that level of those guys. It's just he's falling off of what his former glory was.
He looked very, very good, but now he's only very good.
Yes, he's falling.
Tough problems to have. Tough problems.
So funny to see him next to those guys, though. But anyways, yeah, Artemis is giving us a
little bit of a cliff from
deserve.
Burrow, is he a game changer or is he very, very good?
I think very, very good.
Really? You don't think he's a game changer?
Well,
I think he's
a game changer because Josh Allen is not as good at quarterback this year as Tua is. But I think he's a game changer in that he can do crazy things to win games, but he also does the same crazy things to lose games. So,
yeah, I think Tua should also be very, very good too. Trevor Lawrence. Is this mine?
Yeah.
I think he's also on the fall off, man. I know he's been playing hurt. He's been playing through injuries, but like, I don't know if it's a Doug Peterson issue or if it's Trevor Lawrence issue, but something's not right in Jacksonville the way it should have been. And I think they're legit going to miss out on the playoffs. I think they're going to collapse out of the playoffs, dude. They were 8-4. All they had to do was like win 2 games, and they've lost 4 straight. And I think they're going to lose the next 2.
Sad.
It is sad because the people in Jacksonville were very, very nice.
Really, really nice or very, very nice.
Like, to like what Joe Burrow is to Cincinnati, it seems like that's like what Trevor Lawrence was becoming to Jacksonville and to Duval County. But yeah, unfortunately I don't know. Something's not right there, so I'm going to put him next to Jalen Hurts. So if you're complaining about that, then hey, I put Jalen Hurts in there too. It's fair enough. 3 more. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here.
So again, this is hard for me to put Patrick Mahomes as a game changer. He is a game changer, and I would put him up there.
He had like the worst game of his career, and he was even still then making great plays, I think. So, I mean, man, Patrick Mahomes is really on a level of his own. Like we could have a above Joe Flacco even.
Yeah, he's like an insane passer and an insane running quarterback, and he's working with next to nothing.
I saw a stat that he was running around in the pocket like the most he had ever. Like by the third quarter, he had already topped like the amount of like yards ran or whatever.
And here's the thing to think about. You know, if the Chiefs make it to the playoffs, which they will, they are going to be a favorite in almost every game for a lot of people. And why is that? I think it's just because solid coaching and Patrick Mahomes is a game-changing quarterback. He's like Tom Brady in that, like Tom Brady, I forget what year it was when they what was the year after he got injured? 2009? I don't remember. He's had years where he just barely slips into the playoffs and then he just makes it to AFC Championship Super Bowl.
This is my hot take, by the way. I think the Panthers beat Jacksonville this weekend.
Ooh.
I thought they played the Titans this week. I couldn't remember if they played this week. But yeah, I think they beat them this weekend. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I think Bryce Young kind of carries that confidence. He sounded like really confident in his interviews this week. He was like, yeah, we just like ran out of time. We didn't lose the game. We just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, the concept should be seen.
Artemis is just explaining to Jet what they're talking about.
Yeah, I totally knew what I was talking about. Kirk Cousins, obviously he's injured, but I think he was playing very, very good. I think he was playing very good.
I think he was playing very good. Yeah, I'd put him there too.
Yeah, his stats were like MVP level stats in his first like 6 games. But they just weren't winning. They were fumbling the ball. They were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It'll be really interesting. I think Minnesota brings him back for at least 1 more year. I wouldn't be surprised if they franchise tagged him. And maybe good old Kirk Cousins. He's very familiar with franchise tag from back in his Washington days. But yeah, I think it's like 1 more year to see. Even though he's kind of maybe they don't because he's a little old for that. Maybe it's a little disrespectful for an old man. They give him a 2-year deal or something like that, and they can just cut him next year if they want to. I think he gets 1 more year in Minnesota. Even though a lot of people are like, yeah, they'll probably go a different direction. But he got hurt. He was playing really well. I don't know why you would go away from him. I mean, it's a leg injury. It's not like he's gonna. It's Kirk Cousins. He doesn't scramble. It's not gonna be a very. I don't think it's gonna impact him very much. He's old though. You never know.
Yeah.
We put Baker. Baker has been playing very well also this year. It looks like he might solidify his spot as a starter in Tampa.
I'd put him very good. I mean, I think that's what he's doing. I think he's playing very good. Like, I would put him at the same level as some of those guys in there, like Jared Goff, healthy Kirk Cousins. That's what he's doing this year.
Yeah, he's had some off games, but he's had some really, really on games as well. And he's definitely been more consistent even this year, still more than like previously in his career. Like, I think this legit might actually be his best year since his rookie season, which is saying something.
Yeah, no, it is. We were arguing about that the other day, and I looked up some stats. It definitely is his best year.
There you go, folks. There's the good old tier list.
System. Joe Flacco's in a league of his own. Russ is in a league of his own as well. The unknown league.
I guess we could put DeVito. You guys in back up. Get rid of this way.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice and pretty.
That is a pretty little.
But yeah, Deebo. What do you think about the Deebo? We forgot to talk about that. The Deebo and Cam drama, which is honestly just hysterical. I'll go ahead and introduce people, tell people what was the lowdown in case they don't know.
Yeah. So this is actually a funny story. Somebody got a hold of Deebo Samuel's phone number and was calling him, acting like he was Cam Newton. Like, hey man, I just wanted to, and he was messaging him too, like saying stuff like you're the real, the real guy, and like you're all this stuff. I'd have to go back and look at it, but essentially, then I think Cam was criticizing Deebo, and then Deebo posted on social media like, look, this is your messages you messaged me, and this is you called me and were talking to me the other day, like, and hyping me up, and now you're talking to me like this. And then Cam went on and was like, I don't have your number, dude. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then somebody has a recording of, there's the messages. These are really funny. Yeah, this is Deebo sharing these fake messages from fake Cam Newton. Deebo got,
hey, dude, honestly, that's a pretty genius thing. Like,
yes,
they got lucky, these kids, because they kind of was that before the whole thing started. I think maybe it was no. I think that was after he said the pretty thing. But either way, that's brilliant because they got his font right and everything.
Right.
And I've heard through the grapevine that he texts that way too. So
so this is and another funny piece to all this is that they have a recording of one of the guys calling Deebo and talking to him.
Yeah, I wonder if he has it on here.
Well, no, this one. Well, maybe
that's the group chat when they.
Yeah.
Like high school kids.
You will have to find that and share it out on Twitter. But like, I watched that recording. It was so funny. It was just like a bunch of guys in like a dorm room, basically, like on a phone talking to Deebo Samuel, acting like they're Cam Newton. And it's so funny because the guy that's talking is like not trying to sound like Cam Newton. He's just like this like 22-year-old white kid, like, hey, I think you're really good. Like,
oh yeah, I saw that video. They're like, who the heck is?
Yeah, but it's just a funny, weird drama of the NFL.
Look up to you. You know what I mean?
There it is.
Yeah, bro. It's been a minute. I was hoping to connect with you, bro. I mean, we got some boys that look up to you. You know what I mean?
What's going on?
Nothing, bro. I mean, I was just hoping to talk. I mean, I don't know if you're busy right now, but I mean, I was just honestly calling to, whatever you
His
got.
His hands are shaking.
Yeah, bro. It's been a minute. I was hoping to connect with you.
He's so nervous talking to Deebo Samuel, like lying to him, and yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
We just want to talk. We just want some advice.
I just wanted to talk. But yeah, no, the lighting makes him seem so fake, though.
No, he deleted the tweet too. Deebo did, so it's that he definitely got
realized,
as they say.
Yeah. Who was the one Notre Dame linebacker that got catched?
Yeah, I didn't watch I meant to watch the documentary on it, but I did not.
It's all right. It's not that great of a documentary, actually.
Let's get into our fantasy picks of the week. So I am in the championship game. And I worked really hard. I had Amari Cooper and Joe Flacco in my on my starting lineup last week, and I put up a good number. Got to the championship game, the consolation bracket. But it's a championship game. It is a consolation, but it's a championship game also. So we're locked in this week, and we're ready to go. So next slide. Let's start it.
Yeah. So these are just the updated how we did 2 weeks ago because we didn't do a show 2 weeks ago. Johnny, I feel bad, but I'm 99% sure I'm going to win now, unless I do like a lot of reds next week.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Those are the totals: 17 to 4.5. That's the year total. So, you can see you do have a lot of wows though. You have like,
I mean, I'm ahead, right? That's like winning money, right?
Yeah,
you're up a bit. That's pretty impressive.
And it's because I have way more goods than you. But
all right. Oh, Jared Stid. You're going with the Stid. Oh,
yeah, this was mainly.
Why didn't you delete those? You're supposed to delete those.
Oh, I didn't even notice this. You can see our old logos there that we copy and paste into the slideshow. Whoops. No, I have Jared Stidham mainly because he's been in this situation before. He had, when Derek Carr was
strong parallels between the Derek Carr situation last year and Russell Wilson this year. Yeah.
And Jared Stidham was good those last 2 games, mainly the first game, but he played the Chiefs on his last game, but what can you do with the Chiefs?
Yeah, he was like he got the 2 years for $10 million or something like that. Highest paid backup in the league, I believe.
And I think he deserves it, and I think we're going to see why. I picked him up for this week's 7th versus 8th place game because I lost the first round of the consolation bracket because I'm not as good as Johnny is. But yeah, I think he's going to be my quarterback pick.
Thank you for admitting that, by the way. I appreciate that. I'm going with I like the pick. I was thinking about taking him in the actual league, but I was like, I'm going with Jaren Hall simply because he's facing Joe Barry. Do you like that? Joe Barry's face?
That was kind of funny that instead of just putting the Packers.
No, I think he can make some moves with his legs. And yeah, every quarterback the past like 4 weeks has had a freaking career game. So why think something else is going to happen? Why would you believe that?
Right.
Einstein quote, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. Yeah, that's Joe Barry right now. Let's move on before I get actually upset. All right. Khalil Herbert, I like what he did last week. And I think against the Falcons, they'll go run heavy as well. Maybe they'll try to outrun the Falcons. But Khalil Herbert had 20 carries, a touchdown, and 100-some yards. Pretty good week. Did he have he had a touchdown. It was his first touchdown all year, actually. I remember that in the winners loser script. Yeah, I think I like him this week. Yeah, I'll listen to there. I don't know what I'm saying.
Good. I picked Kareem Hunt.
That's a very inappropriate picture, Bryan.
Kareem Pie. I just picked one that he had there's one where he had like a TikTok, the same.
It's like a picture. 2012 meme. All right.
Yeah, 2012 style meme. But yeah, I like the comment. You two have as much energy as a bag of fentanyl.
I don't know what that means, but
I think we're dull, according to this guy. I think we are compared to, Brandon Perna and Tom Grassi talking on GPS. Like, Brandon, yeah, I definitely agree. We're compared to those guys. We're definitely dull. But Kareem Hunt,
we don't have to compare ourselves to anyone, Bryan. Yeah. We are our own people. We don't need to compare anyone else to us. We're unique. We're one of a kind. 1 in a million. I think we're 1 in a trillion.
I agree.
Let's go to the next slide.
Fuck you. I'm sorry.
What?
Pardon my French. Sorry. No, Demarcus Robinson. By the way, the Kareem Hunt pick was mainly because of Cooper being injured, and Amari
Cooper not playing tonight.
Yeah, he got a touchdown. Kareem Hunt had a touchdown last week, I think. I think he's just on the up and up. Demarcus Robinson has been great. I think he's owned in less than 50% of Yahoo leagues, so he should 100% be picked up if you can. He's been getting I think he's got a touchdown every week the past 5 or 6 weeks, and he gets decent targets too. So I don't know why he's not picked up by more people. He's sort of like that Jalen Reed pickup that nobody picked him up for some reason, and I was like, okay, I'll pick him up.
Right. No, he's been definitely legit. I mean, especially in the red zone too. He's gotten 2 touchdowns past 3 weeks, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very. I think he's overtaken Tutu in that third receiver spot. Good playmaker, good hands, makes some good catches. I like the play. I got Rashee Rice. I think he's probably not in your waiver wire. Maybe if he's in the 8-man league. If you're in the championship though, you might not even have him. But I just like him this week. I think he's the X factor in this game against the Chiefs. I know they're playing Jake Browning and not Joe Burrow, but it's not a given. They lost to AOC last week, and he threw for 67 yards. So, yeah. I think they have to trust him. Rashee Rice, he's going to get in 10, 12 targets every game the past 5 weeks. I think last week was his worst week in 5 weeks, and he had 8. He still got his expected point share. So I like him this week. I think they're going to feed him and Kelsey the ball hard because I don't know if he trusts anyone else in the offense. So
Look at those kind words from Brandon Moore.
Well, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. They're not haters. They're just having fun. You don't have to always assume everyone's hating sometimes.
No,
I really appreciate that.
I like a good roast too, so.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not personal. I mean, sometimes it is personal, but it's.
I'm going to take everything you're saying in the comments personally.
I mean, if you're online for this long, if we're like still online at this point, I think you have to accept that, like, yeah, there's going to be some. I'm honestly surprised. I've had like the amount of like eyes on me online, like with the podcast and everything, and not gotten weirder, more mean comments. So like, no, you guys are fine.
Also, Johnny's sort of settling in on this.
I'm sensitive also, so
yeah,
but I got past that. I'm settling in. I got Shigi Okonkwo. I finally learned how to pronounce his name, and he caught his first touch. No, not his first touchdown, but he caught a touchdown last week and had quite a bit of yard, like 50 some yards, and he's actually like playing well. And look at that catch. That's from last year, but I thought it was a nice catch. No, I like him against the Texans defense, who has not been playing that great. You saw what Amari Cooper and Njoku did to them last week. I like Chiggy to finish the season strong and give us some kind of hope, because I hyped him up like crazy this offseason, and he did not live up to that hype. So,
Well, I picked up Juwan Johnson, or I picked Juwan Johnson mainly because he's sort of like in this situation where Derek Carr is not being able to produce without using Juwan Johnson and Kamara pretty actively. So I think Derek Carr is learning a little too late that Juwan Johnson is a good option for him.
He was a crazy. I think he had, was it like 5 games in a row last year? He had like touchdowns.
Yes.
But I'm curious because Jimmy Graham has still been a red zone target for him as well. Like, he's had like 4 touchdowns and like 6 catches all year. So it's
right.
They like to use those tight ends in the red zone, as does every team, but especially the Saints.
Right.
But Olave's been legit too for the Saints. We'll see if he's also questionable. I think he's supposed to play it though. But if Olave's not in, Juwan Johnson could.
I was gonna say they have a good tight end matchup too. Like, they're facing Tampa Bay. They played the Rams last week. You give up the 3rd most tight end points in fantasy football, and then Tampa Bay gives up the 5th most tight end points. And last week he put up 12 in our league in half-point PPR, which would have been like 16, 17 in normal PPR. So
it's a good pick. The tight ends were like very, very plentiful beginning of the year, and it seems like they've all disappeared. So I think I think that's a solid pick if you need someone. Maybe not if you're in the championship game. Hopefully, if you're in the championship game, you get someone else. But
yes. What do we have left? What do we have left here?
Just our P and D picks.
Well, we don't do feed picks anymore. We got rid of feed picks because we were basically not caring anymore. But we do have
Young Haku though again this week, because I think that the Bears will hold them to field goals, but I think they will be able to move the ball.
And this is the 3rd time I've picked the Bears defense, by the way, in a row, and they still are not picked up by like, I think it's like 30% of leagues.
Who has them in our league?
Me.
You do?
And I've started them in every week.
I'm not shaming. I'm just saying.
No, that's just us saying kicking shouldn't be allowed in fantasy football, but it is.
We're not going to wait. We're wasting time by talking about it when we weren't going to talk about it because we didn't care about talking about it. Now we're caring more that we don't have it. It's a paradox in itself. I had the Seahawks against the Steelers because this Steelers week will show up one week and then the next they will crap the bed. I think this is an off week for them. It's a very important game for the Steelers, and they will rise to the occasion and crap the bed and then barely get a 500 record next week. Like, probably. That's my guess. But I like the Steelers defense. The Seahawks defense, where they've been playing the last 2 weeks. Specifically, they held the Eagles down, even though that maybe that's not impressive now. But the last week they really showed out. So,
all right,
that's what we got.
You got some names.
You took away the one I had. You deleted the one I had. You're supposed to just.
I thought that was 2 weeks ago.
No,
but we can re-put it.
I can still read it. You go read it. You read yours, and I'll read mine.
So mine was Happy New Spears. If you have Ty J Spears, I was from Charlotte is a reference to Jair Alexander. if somebody likes the Packers and thought it'd be funny.
Speaking of which, I'm honestly over it. I'm kind of actually, I don't even want to talk about it.
And I saw this really funny tweet.
Thing. It's just ridiculous that that we do that in our most important game of the year.
Yeah, how stupid! How stupid!
Well, last year,
especially considering it might have been
how cool it was on New Year's Day when Jair was like doing the gritty over Justin Jefferson after breaking up passes, and he locked him down that game. And I was like, "This is dope. Our defense is actually decent."
Right.
And then the next week, the Lions beat us at home, and that was Aaron Rodgers' last game.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
What we're talking about Jair.
In a very important game.
It's because he was talking about the coaches too, and he was like being disruptive in the locker room or well, yada yada yada. I don't know. Maybe some stuff behind the scenes we don't know about, but like it's not fun. It's not a great look for your team. It's honestly embarrassing because Russell Wilson they announced that he was going to get cut basically at the end of the season. It might even be post June 1st based on cap needs, but it's just embarrassing that was also the next story too of Jair because he called the freaking coin toss. So it's great.
Yeah.
I love that there I saw some memes on Twitter. Twitter was amazing yesterday, actually, with all the wrestling stuff, memes, content. But
so those of you who don't know, everybody should know this story. But Jair Alexander went to do the coin toss when he wasn't a team captain, and his thought was, I'm from Charlotte, I want to go up there, and the coaches were like, "No, you're not a captain. You don't go do the coin toss."
Right.
He went up there anyways. And
he said, they won the toss.
They won the toss.
He called it. They won it, and he said, we want the defense on the field,"
which was the
and
wrong.
They said, yeah, it could be interpreted as not deferring.
Yeah,
which is it's a stupid. Okay, that's a stupid rule book, but whatever.
Right. And then on top of that,
they don't give you a third option. Just saying.
On top of that, there's apparently like disruption in the locker room, bashing the coaches and stuff like that. So. And then they suspended Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander's the best defensive player on their team.
I wouldn't say that. Well, this year hasn't been the best. Last year
he's been injured. I mean, he's been injured.
Ever since his shoulder injury, which happened last year, he's not been great. I mean, he had that one game against the Vikings, but he hasn't been. Outside of that, it's not been amazing.
Yeah,
not been up to his pay scale. I mean, he's still a great player. But I'd say Rashawn Gary is our best player on the defense. Honestly,
he has the attitude of a wide receiver.
Trey Walker has been being really good lately, at least in the run game, at least in the run defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all.
I love how Artemis is talking about peeking on edibles. Yeah. Man, I love this conversation. I just keep peeking over at Artemis talking. By the way, the peeking on edibles thing is so funny. 100%.
We hope you do well. Drink some water, Artemis. Drink some water.
Have you guys talked about Simone Biles' husband thinking he is the catch in his relationship?
I don't even want to get into that. I didn't watch the video. I was like, I just let Twitter be Twitter and bicker over it. I don't care. I don't care, man.
I just want to talk about Patrick Mac Jones. The funniest tweet I've seen in a while.
I saw that too.
Somebody tweeted more like Patrick Mac Jones.
I saw a Photoshop of it. I mean, whoever originated it. That's funny.
I retweeted it, so I'll find it. Give him credit. But
I saw
that was a really funny
Mac Jones on the back of his jersey. That was a good way to put it. All right, guys. Oh, it's 7:04. We got to get out of here. It's 7 o'clock. Thursday Night Football, the last game of the year. Who's your predictions? Saints. Who's freaking even playing tonight? Saints and
Browns and
Saints.
Browns and Jets.
Browns and Jets, obviously. What plan am I on, guys? I know what it says. I was mixing up Olave's injury with Cooper's injury because they're both my fantasy team. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Browns and Jets. I'm going with obviously Browns, but I'm thinking of a big Kareem Hunt game. That's what.
Browns are heavily favored. I think the Jets might surprise them. You never know. I feel like as soon as you write off the Jets as like a team that you just brush over, they end up doing something. But
Generic Ballman has the prediction.
27-3. I like that score. I think it might be a little like a 20-10 game. I'm going to go with 20-10 Browns.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
You got a score? Did you already do a score? I'm sorry. Did I miss your score?
No, I don't. I'm going to say 24-10.
24-10. We'll see.
Browns.
We'll clip it if someone gets it right. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all watching. You have a wonderful new year. We'll see you next year, right?
That's right.
So,
Toodaloo.
greatest joke ever. It's so funny.